Here's why the mental health crisis that we are in right now is so different than anything we've seen before. And I want to use the State of the Union tonight as the lens through which we can sort of decode it. So for one thing, can you imagine if Ronald Reagan or John F. Kennedy had talked about a mental health crisis in this country? They'd be laughed out of office, right? I mean, we have been so allergic in American history to the idea that mental health is even a thing. I mean, from the time that we knew that gambling was having a bad effect on people, it took 30 years for it to be identified as an addiction that you could actually clinically define according to the manual, right? Like, we just hate admitting in this country that there are mental health issues, or that any of us have any difficulty with living with depression or social anxiety. But again, the State of the Union tonight is going to have a whole section that encompasses mental illness and all kinds of stuff, and that whole thing is going to capture, like, under the mental health crisis rubric comes social media, data privacy, all these things, because that's the other big thing that's new, which is the attention economy. We, of course, have had, transformative, technologies in the past, and people are always saying, oh, this social media is not that much different than than books or radio or television or the internet. We've always panicked about this stuff when it arrives on the scene. No, yeah, I mean, we have, but this is the first time that we had a whole industry built on the circuitry by which human beings make decisions. The way we group together as tribes, the way we think about ourselves, the way we process loss and potential and ambition. And that's all become an economy that we really cannot look away from. And so they're going to, I think increasingly, they being policymakers, are going to increasingly try and push against that stuff. Anyway, it is such a fascinating moment to be, as someone who has suffered from depression in my past, it is just really interesting to see it become a matter of policy at a, in a country where that has been, I think the other third rail of American culture. So anyway, I've just been thinking about that a lot.